I think we can start. What do you think, Avital?
Sure. Yeah, let's get going.
Okay. Amazing. So to get started, first we're going to go through some introductions. Later, Avital will be talking a little bit more about the autopilot, and then she'll be showing you a walkthrough demo of how it works and going a little bit more into detail about what makes it unique. And it's so for introductions, I'm Abby. I'm on the customer experience team here at Atera. I'm going to be co-hosting the webinar today. So your questions that will be in the Q&A, I will be answering them. And with me today, I have Avital. She's an account executive here at Atera also. And she's going to be giving us the live walkthrough of the platform. Okay, perfect. So just to go a little bit of housekeeping before we dive in. First, just want to say that this webinar will be recorded, just like all of our webinars, and you will be receiving a link after to watch it in case you had to leave or had to jump. And secondly, like I mentioned just now, if you have any questions while Avital is doing her demo, please feel free to drop them in the QA. And I will be answering them for you. We'll try to get to all the questions. If we don't get to everything, we will try to do our best to follow up via email to make sure that everything is answered. And at the end of the webinar, we're going to have a short survey. We would love your response. This is also a great way to win a gift card. So be sure to stay till the end so you can win the gift card. So very quickly, we want to have just a quick poll to get a little bit more of your input. So I'm going to go ahead and share the first question. I want to make sure you guys can see it under poll. So the first question that we have is, are you using your AI in your day-to-day? So we'd love to get your input on it, just so that we have a better understanding of where everyone is at right now. I just want to make sure that everybody can see the poll. Can somebody confirm? Okay, yeah, I see we're getting some answers. Okay, so we have 5 votes that say yes, they cannot live without it. And 1 vote for sometimes, and no votes for not yet but wanting to. So I guess that's good news. It means that most of you are already working with AI, so that's great to hear. Amazing. And now let me close that one. I'm going to go ahead and share our second poll. All right, so this poll is basically, we want to get a better understanding of which one of the following tasks are currently taking up most of your time. So I'll go ahead and I'll give you guys a few minutes to answer that as well. Let's see. Okay. We have some that voted for handling repetitive tasks and manual tier 1 support task. So if that's the case, then you're in the right place. We're going to be seeing a few examples on how we can very easily streamline those tier 1 support tasks. Yeah, most of the votes went to there. Amazing. So I'm going to go ahead and close this. And Avital, can you go back to sharing your screen, please?
Sure.
Oh, you were sharing. Sorry. I mean, the next slide. Sorry about that.
Okay, perfect. You guys can see my screen, right?
Yes. Okay. So this is a perfect segue. I'll let you take over from here.
Awesome. Thank you, Abby. Nice to meet everyone. As Abby mentions, I'm Avital. I'm an accounts executive here at Atera, and we're going to jump into Autopilot together, see it in action, and see the magic, and what Autopilot will be able to do for you. So before we jump into the tool itself, I'd love to take a minute to discuss what autonomous IT is, what the vision is, where it came from. So what we've seen over the past, a shift in the IT industry in the past couple of years, we work with IT professionals on a day-to-day basis. There's a growing need for IT talent, and at the same time, there is a growing need from end users, and there's this gap in between what IT teams are able to provide and what end users need from them. Now, at Atera, we've heavily invested in and developed Atera's proprietary AI. We've been working on this for many years now, and we have two products essentially that we offer. The first product is the AI Copilot. Now, this is your AI superhuman technician, as you can call it, that works alongside IT technicians within Atera's core platform, which is an RMM and ticketing solution in a single platform. What we're going to focus on today is the Autopilot, which is the end user AI tool. And essentially what Atera's Autopilot can do for you and for your end users and essentially your entire organization is act as an autonomous tier 1 24/7 IT technician. Okay, this is revolutionary. This is a major game changer in the IT industry, as we're seeing with our customers that have started using Autopilot, and will really be able to change the way your end users are receiving support and the way you guys are able to work as IT professionals. Autopilot, as I mentioned, is a revolutionary tool. And one of the reasons for that is that this isn't just a tool for IT teams anymore. The impact is going to be felt across the entire organization, starting with your end users. With Atera's Autopilot, they are going to receive immediate responses to their tickets. Autopilot will be able to jump in immediately, so they're not waiting, 30 minutes, an hour, sometimes more for that first response time. And hopefully, they'll also get that immediate resolution. Of course, this is going to impact, IT professionals and IT teams, where this will relieve you of those repetitive tier 1 tickets, that should and could be automated. I know that was like the most popular response to the poll. And so anyone who responded, that their day is full with, with those repetitive tier 1 tickets, I definitely think you're going to like what you see today. And of course, this is going to, impact the organization, where this is going to cut costs in terms of IT overhead. It's going to cut down on business downtime and really allow, all IT to just run smoothly, and allow end users to get back to their work as quickly as possible. Now, AI is definitely a buzzword nowadays. Every platform is integrating AI some way or another. But what makes Atera's IT Autopilot so unique and so much of a game changer, as I mentioned, is the fact that it's built in to Atera's RMM agents. So with Atera's Autopilot, you're not just getting, a chatbot. This isn't just, surface level GPT. This is actually AI that's built into an agent, Atera's core RMM agent, which is on a device. So this is agentic AI, and it's giving the Autopilot the ability to run health checks and diagnostics directly on a device in real time, and then take action on that device, which is how Autopilot can actually resolve tickets and is not just, responding to tickets based off of FAQs or knowledge-based articles. And that's really where Atera, has built a revolutionary product where the AI is able to both diagnose and resolve up to 80% of your tier 1 tickets. And that number is only going to grow as it learns from within your own environment. Now, we're going to jump into the tool. I'll show you Autopilot, in action. As you guys have questions, feel free to type them in the chat, and we will get to Q&A after the demo. Awesome. Now, one thing I will mention what we're viewing right now on the screen, this is Autopilot running through Atera's web-based support portal. Okay, so end users would log into the support portal and be able to interact with Autopilot and receive receive assistance from Autopilot. But Autopilot can also run through many different channels. Autopilot can run through an existing ticketing solution. So if you already have a PSA or a ticketing solution, you don't necessarily have to rip and replace with Atera's ticketing solution. We can build Autopilot on top of an existing ticketing solution. This can run through email support. So if your end users are submitting tickets via email, Autopilot will be able to jump in immediately, respond to their tickets, and then run a resolution as well. Teams, Slack. So Autopilot will be able to run through multiple channels, making it as easy as possible for your end users. For the sake of today's demo, we'll run it through our web-based portal, but just know that the flow and the way it works would be the exact same through any one of the channels that I mentioned. So I'm an end user. This can be after hours. This can be on a weekend at a time where IT teams aren't necessarily working. And I'm trying to put together, meet a work deadline, and all of a sudden, maybe an application I'm using is not working. I panic. I need my application to work, and so I submit, a critical ticket to the IT team, and sometimes that can take, an hour or more till you get a first response, till an IT technician can actually look into the issue. As an end user now, I can, come to Autopilot and just start chatting away. So I would say something like, if I needed Adobe, right? Adobe not working. Okay, chat format. As you can see, Autopilot kicks in right away. So Autopilot in our environment, in our demo environment, is named Steve. You'll be able to customize that to whatever, give your Autopilot any name that you want. And as you can see, the response time is immediate. So your end users, are feeling listened to, they're feeling supported, and they're able to ideally get back to work ASAP. The Autopilot will know to clarify, the question or the issue that the end user, is experiencing. So for example, it's asking just, I need a little more information. What's happening? Are you getting an error message? Is it not opening? If there is an error message that your end user is getting, they can always take a screenshot and just upload that. Autopilot will be able to analyze the screenshot. Based off of the screenshot, it can run the diagnostics on the device. For this sake, of our demo, I would just write something like not opening. Okay, and as you can see, the diagnostics and health checks start right away. So again, there's this immediate response and resolution. The end user will be able to see what diagnostics, Autopilot is running. And again, this isn't just based off of knowledge base articles, FAQs, which it can do as well. But the core of Autopilot is running through an RMM agent on the device. So this isn't just generic, tier 1 resolution, but it's actually going to be specific to a device in that specific moment. I would do Adobe Reader. Again, there's that clarification back and forth as the Autopilot is trying to, look for the issue. And then based off of what it finds on the device, it will attempt to run a resolution and fix and close out the ticket for your end users. So here it wants to run a, reinstall. As the end user, I would say, yes, please go ahead and do it. And you'll see now that the Autopilot is able to go ahead and execute that resolution for us or for the end user. So essentially your end users are getting, immediate response, immediate resolution within a couple of minutes. Whereas when we're dealing with, a human technician, sometimes that can take a couple of hours because you're dealing with other IT fires or other IT emergencies. So your end users are getting the support that they need. The IT team is being relieved of these repetitive tasks through Autopilot, and everyone is able to focus on more important work tasks. So that's just one example. That's a common one we see. Application issues, password resets is another one, that a very popular tier 1 ticket that we see a lot, which Autopilot can handle. Printer issues, installing printer drivers. Our Autopilot can take up to about 600 IT actions, and that number is only growing. Okay. And the end user can, go back and forth with the Autopilot until, the ticket can be closed out. And again, the human technician has not had to get involved once here. Another popular one we see, just to give you another example, is just, slow devices, right? That it happens a lot. End users don't really know how to keep their devices, healthy. And so Autopilot can, jump in, run those diagnostics, and then, clean up what needs to be cleaned up. Again, there's clarification, chat format, very simple and intuitive for end users to interact with. Again, this can be running through Teams, through Slack, through email. It doesn't necessarily have to be through the web-based portal. Our Autopilot is running those diagnostics, running those health checks. Again, this is specific to the device that the end user is working on in that specific moment. And so it's going to be able to give exact information and exact resolution for the end user. So I would say, yes, please help me clean up. And Autopilot will be able to execute that for us. Now, one thing I will note, as an IT technician, you'll have visibility to all the tickets that are being opened by your end user, and you'll be able to view the entire chat history between the end user and Autopilot. So it's not like any of this is happening and you have no idea what's going on with your devices, if there are, issues or whatnot. You'll be able to view all of that within your technician portal or the admin portal. So this is the core Atera platform where the RMM runs through, where the ticketing runs through. And as you can see here, the first 2 tickets in the ticketing queue are the tickets that we just opened through Autopilot. Okay, and then as a technician, you'll be able to jump in, you'll be able to see what the issue was, and you'll be able to view the entire chat history. Now, in addition to, being able to see all the tickets that, Autopilot is working on, through the admin portal, you'll also have the ability to train your Autopilot as, another technician on your team. So you'll be able to give it custom instructions, playbooks. You'll be able to, oh, sorry. I realized that it didn't share the second screen. So I'll just jump back to the ticketing dashboard for a second because it seems that we missed that. What I was showing is that the top tickets over here in our ticketing dashboard are the tickets that we opened through Autopilot. So as I mentioned, as an IT technician, you'll always have visibility to the tickets that are being opened. You'll be able to view and see what actions Autopilot is taking. The AI Center is where you're going to be able to train and onboard Autopilot to be company and context specific. So you'll be able to build out custom instructions, playbooks. You'll be able to, give Autopilot the tools to work within your specific environment. In addition to that, we're also going to be, or the Autopilot itself is going to be looking for manual tasks that are being taken by technicians, or it's going to be looking for repetitive tickets that end users are submitting. And we'll be looking to build out KB articles within your account. We'll be looking to build out different scripts that can be built within your account to take manual tasks and automate them through the autopilot. That was, just the tip of the iceberg in terms of, the magic and of what AI and Atera's autopilot can do. We'll now, take some time for Q&A. So if anyone wants to, jump in, ask questions, dive a little deeper into autopilot, by all means.
So we actually have a question here. How can my password be reset if I can't open my PC to ask for a reset with autopilot?
That's a great question. So essentially the way password resets work within Atera is that each of your end users, will have a mobile number that's linked to their user account within the admin side of Atera. When they request the password reset, a one-time passcode will be sent to that mobile number, which will reset the password for them. If they can't log into their device, again, they can always, submit a ticket via email or, again, Teams, Slack, from their phones.
Amazing. We have one that just came in now. You mentioned you are opening a Atera web version. Is there an actual app to install on the computer?
So there's no app to install on the computer. What we do have for your end users is what we call the help desk agent. It's a system tray icon, which will be white labeled. So it would have your own company logo on it. That would sit in the system tray. Your end users could right click, and then that would take them directly to the web-based portal. So it's like an easy flow for them without having to, link or favorite a web page.
Amazing. Does anybody have any more questions? I'll give it a minute or two. Here we have Seth asks for pricing. Is it based on a fixed number of inquiries per month?
So pricing is end user based. If you want to discuss pricing, more in depth, I would definitely recommend scheduling a demo. We'll have, a button at the end of this presentation where you'll be able to schedule a demo and speak to someone from our team, and they can discuss pricing more in depth with you.
Okay. And I think we have time for one more question. Where can we access the agent for PC, Mac, and Linux? So for
sorry, Abby.
No, go ahead.
The agent itself will be installed by the IT admins. So it's installed through the admin portal. There are many different ways to install the agents. Again, I think a personalized demo that can really walk you through the setup, and again, in your specific case, right, there are different ways that you'll be able to install the agent. So that's done by the IT team. Once that's installed on the device, it will be linked to a specific user. And that way, when the user submits a ticket via autopilot will run through the specific agents on the specific device.
Okay. One more just came in. Let's see. With the Adobe example, what if the user does not know the version? Will it walk the user through how to look up the version?
So it can walk a user through manual steps, but autopilot will also, that's something that the autopilot, can pick up on its own. So autopilot will be able to run through software inventory on the device. It can also pick up on if there are available or like a newer version that needs to be installed, and it can run that install for the end user.
Okay. Amazing. I think that's all the questions that we have that we didn't get to answer. Amazing. So last but not least, we have 2 surveys for you. One is through here. So I will go ahead. I'm going to launch the survey. A second. You guys should get a pop-up of the survey. It's around 3 questions. All right. So the first question being, how would you describe your interest in exploring autonomous IT further after today's session? We did have some people that dropped their information in the chat that would be more than interested to learn more. Okay. Which topic would you love to explore deeper in future webinars? This is a really cool one. We have a few different options. I'm going to give it a few more minutes. Okay. Amazing. I'm going to go ahead and close this. You have it says that you guys have 30 more seconds. So if you are still filling this out, great. And also the second survey I mentioned, so you guys can help us by sharing your experience working with Atera on G2. And after you guys fill out the survey, shortly after you should be receiving a $25 Amazon gift card. So we'd really love your feedback on that. So I'll give this also a few more moments so that everybody can go ahead and scan this barcode. Let's see. Okay. I think, let's see, a few more seconds. Okay, amazing. So let me see the next slide. I think that's it. That sums up today. We just did the survey. So thank you everybody for joining us. We hope you enjoyed it. If there are any questions left in the chat that weren't unanswered, we will do our best to reach out. And if you left your contact info, I will make sure that somebody from our sales department reaches out to speak with you to coordinate demo. Okay, amazing. So thank you everyone. Have a great day.